today we had our very first set of technical difficulties. It was out of the box today. Before we even get into that, though, I am Ronai with Anomaly, the agency.
And I'm now with Chapter 28 Beauty.
Hello, hello. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Sunday. So let's just give you the tea real quick. So we try to do live on both Facebook and Instagram today. Facebook, for whatever reason, changed some of its live rules and just wasn't allowing us to go live together. And so we took it to Instagram, had a full-blown conversation for about an hour, went to go post the live on our story, and it's gone. We don't know where it went. I have no idea. I've reached out to our help support team on Instagram just to kind of see what's going on. But shout out to everybody who did tune in, appreciated the conversation that we did have. It's unfortunate that we cannot share that with you, but we will go live again soon once we get our lives together. But kind of a good experience though, because, you know, especially working in public relations, working with like social media, and then anybody who has a business and, you know, puts together presentations or anything like that, this is exactly the kind of thing you got to be prepared for. So luckily we have the backup plan. You know, we are able to still record and kind of give you a gist of what we dived into earlier. But yeah, point of the story, our lesson today was really just be prepared for anything. So technology is just not on our side today, but that's okay. We push through, we move forward. So
Correct.
So yeah, we were just kind of, honestly, it was just a catch-up day for us. We wanted to see, you know, how everybody was doing. It's been a month now since we've been doing these vlogs, so yay. Yeah, and so we just wanted to kind of check on everybody, do a little gut check, make sure everybody's doing good. It's Sunday or whatever day it is. I know nobody has any clue of what day it is at this point. We've kind of just been going and rolling with it on a daily basis. So you know, just kind of getting by. Chynel, I know that your business was affected from everything going on with COVID-19. How I feel like you should talk about that a little bit, because a lot of people can relate to that right now, unfortunately.
Basically, we're all experiencing shutdowns or temporary layoffs and things of that nature. For me, I am a one-person LLC, so it could have affected other people if I had other people working for me, but because it's just myself, it's not that bad. They shut down my business for 30 days, and we're really not sure if in those 30 days they're going to figure out this COVID-19 virus thing. So we need to be prepared to be shut down even longer than that, which is, I mean, like everybody else, we're not the only ones, and I'm in the beauty industry, a very trendy. So basically, just going over like temporarily being out of work, and we're not essential in the industry, beauty industry, apparently. I know you guys beg to differ, but the government doesn't think so. But what I thought was interesting was the hair store is still open. The beauty supply store is still open.
Really?
Yes. And I kind of felt some type of way. Like we were going close, and I was just like, how is the hair store essential? And I'm still not sure if that person, if they just didn't know it was shut down or not. I don't know if they got the memo. I don't know. But my sister-in-law, she was saying, you know, that they sell other things in the hair store. Like they sell skincare products. They sell like I even bought masks there. We were out of masks everywhere else, but I was able to buy masks from the Asian supply store. So I guess that might be what's keeping them open. I don't know, but everything that they have in their store outside of like fake hair, you can buy at the regular Walmart or you can buy at the grocery store. So that was kind of like crazy to me. But anyway, I digress. I felt some type of way about that.
No, yeah, I felt some type of way myself. Like, you're telling me, yeah,
Right,
I'd have been
right. I mean, I sell body butter. Like, why? So I'm
right,
a
right. Hello.
But I think it's important to focus on what you can handle at this time. Some things are out of, you know, our hands, but when it comes to, of course, like making money, that's out of our hands, and they're doing things right now to kind of figure that out for us. And it's going to take some time to get everybody up to speed. But what you can handle is what's going on in your household and how you navigate through these next few weeks and months. within your, your home life and your work life, really figuring out how to um, get those things in order, So yeah, I mean, I try not to focus on the negativity at this point, because we're all itching to do something, but it's kind of just like sit down somewhere, sit down
Have some
somewhere, and take the time and use it wisely. So
right.
yeah,
No, yeah. I mean, and even, with that, right now is the time for everybody to support their local business. You're probably seeing it a lot, you're probably hearing it a lot, and it's not for nothing. You know what I mean? Like, this is really the time. Like, they're going to take major hits left and right. These chains that you love going to and supporting, that's cool. That's what you're comfortable with, but they're okay. They're going to survive. They're up there in profit and revenue. And so, right now is really the time for us to help out our cousin, mother, sister, brother, whatever, who owns a small business. If they have something where you can order stuff online, and if you have the opportunity to order, you know what I mean? Like, try to do your research, see what other mom and pop shops you can help out along the way, because they really will be affected the most by, everything going on with COVID-19 and, everything just being shut down, people not being able to go anywhere. And it's going to be very interesting to see the long-term effects of that, just how businesses try to overcome that, especially small businesses. Again, these major corporations, they're good. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're going to take a little bit of a hit, but they can afford a little hit. You know what I mean? But these small businesses, this is life or death for them at this point, you know what I mean, so to speak. So, that, and then, even, with school, we were talking about earlier how, it's unfortunate for these kids, especially seniors, that are graduating. You don't realize, as adults, we don't really think about school, high school anymore, but these are some very important life-changing moments in their lives. They won't be able to attend prom this year. They won't be able to go to senior week, things that we had so much fun doing, and, just kind of flew by. But it's unfortunate. I was talking to my little cousin, and she's on the soccer team, and a lot of her teammates are about to graduate. And, she was like, they're all upset. They're bummed. Some of them already bought their dresses, they had all these plans, and like now they can't do anything. And, they're graduating virtually. Like, it's just, to live in a time where these types of things are happening is so interesting. I mean, it's a beautiful thing that we have the technology to be able to let them graduate virtually, and the fact that we can video conference and we can do so many things like this to keep in touch with people during this time. But there's so many falls that are going to be taken, so many L's, so to speak, that are going to be taken because of everything surrounding COVID-19, and the fact that we do have to social distance and we have to quarantine, and we have to be respectful regardless of how you believe, or if how serious you believe this to be or not. Try to be respectful as possible to, again, to businesses, to people that are affected, who aren't affected, who are super sensitive to the topic, who just try to take time to understand that, and do everything that you can to just be human, and to be as moral as possible, and to try to move as appropriately as possible during this time. And I know we were talking about self-care. You were saying that you and your sister have been working out like crazy,
yeah,
just to kind of get through these days.
yeah. So like the working out thing, that was something that I kind of fell off of doing a little while back when I had a disaster in my
Right,
family. I couldn't get back on that track when it came to like
right.
you know working out and going hard. And that was really just because I was in a depressed mind
Sure.
state, I guess. And that wasn't
Right.
something that was driving me. I felt like I needed to get things done. I needed to really buckle down on my business. I needed to buckle down on my family and figure those
Mhm.
things out. Those are most important, to me. So, um, long story short, since COVID-19 and since the quarantine, my sister and my brother-in-law have come over to kind of get me back on track with just working out and just building towards something that I need to also, or getting back into something that was once interesting to me. My husband already does this on a regular basis. He already works out. He trains and stuff like that. But for me, he doesn't pressure me to do these things, which is it's a good thing. But he's not gonna ride me to work out with him. He's definitely not gonna do that 'cause half the time I'm in the way. Um, so yeah, just for those who have kind of fallen off over the holidays of last year. Now's a good time to get back into figuring out how to work out at home. And this is the thing,
Mhm.
what would you do if there weren't any gyms? Like, what would you do if there weren't all these other things out there? We are spoiled. We have so
Yeah,
much available. And now,
definitely.
so now you have to be more independent when it comes to what you want to make your life. Um, how you want to go about your everyday life. You can work out at home. You can build yourself a home gym. Not nothing crazy. Like we got a bench and
Yeah,
all racks and stuff. But for a woman, just grab a few weights, like how they used to do back in the day. Get your little ball, and my mom always had like a few little weights on the side, and then maybe something, a mat, a yoga mat, and just there's a million things you can do without a gym. So, my my sister showed me that this week. Um, we've been going hard, and I've been extremely sore. So, outside of the fact that I couldn't even move to try to go anywhere, that was not a problem for me because I was
right,
stuck. My legs and my arms
right.
are both still hurt. But yeah,
Yeah. No, yeah. Same. I was getting in a routine. A couple of us actually were going faithfully every day, to do our workouts and stuff like that. So it does suck, and it's true, when you start to rely heavily on certain things and they're taken away from you, it's kind of just like your mind, you got to shift into this adaptive mode where you're like, all right, well, you know what I mean? Because I feel like naturally as humans, one certain thing like the gym, everybody's looking for an excuse not to go. You know what I mean? For the most part. So it's like once that was taken away, a lot of people are kind of just like, oh, well, that's it. I guess I can't, you know what I mean? So I've really been trying to, first of all, not do that. So even just looking at videos every morning, watching videos, doing little workouts here and there, like just trying to make the most of, my time inside the house, taking my dog for 10 minutes longer on her walk or anything like that, just to keep moving. The worst thing I think we could do right now is just sit on our asses and watch TV all day. Obviously, for those of you who watch Ozark, I know y'all are watching season 3. I've been binging it since it came out. But aside from that, I've also
right.
been trying to, read, like I said, go on some extra walks. It sucks because there's not really too much that we can do, unfortunately, with this quarantine. We do have a lot of limitations right now. But you can still do things, even if you just walk back and forth in the apartment for a couple of minutes or do a couple squats or just do something to keep you moving. And aside from that, mentally, read or write or, you know what I mean, listen to some peaceful music or meditate, yoga, any of those things are really beneficial during this time. It gives you a peace of mind. It helps you feel at ease. It is a little stressful, check on your extroverts, check on your socialite friends. They're not okay right now. They are not okay with just being stuck up in this house.
Right.
Luckily I've been in homebody mode, like I said, for the past like month and a half. So this is I'm comfortable, but I'm not gonna lie, because it's something we have to do, and it's not like I just want to do it. Now I'm kind of like, well, I can't wait to like, go somewhere. You know what I mean? Like I'm kind of like, oh, I want to go somewhere. Like
It is
I,
going to be
I
crazy
yeah,
when they get
yeah,
people out. It is
I
going
know.
to be absolutely insane. I mean, block parties are going to come back.
What?
Just things that we have,
Listen,
their house
yes.
parties come back. Um, Cookouts are going to be on 1,000 if we
Oh my
happen
God.
to get out of the COVID-19 while it's still
Yeah,
warm, hopefully. Pool parties are going to be lit. It's going to be insane. But we have to
yeah,
remember that when these things do come back, we still have to take extra precautions of, our health. We still need to make sure people are being sanitary and they're disinfecting and you're as clean as you can be because this, I mean, honestly, it's kind of crazy that people don't
it
do
is.
some of these things they should do on a regular basis.
Right,
I mean, I've been finding
right.
out a whole lot of things about people like, I only wash like once a week. Wait, huh? If you only wash once a week, and I know you don't wash your hands after you go to the bathroom, or I know you don't, I
Right,
know you wash your hands in your hand and just like, there's just no excuse for that if you're up and you're out and about. Now, I can
right,
understand, well, no, I can't understand, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
right.
a couple of days maybe because you're just in the house for those couple of days. But if you are out and about and you're in the general public, I'm going to need for you to do what you're supposed to do on your end when it comes to keeping yourself together. Hygiene,
Right,
please.
right. Hygiene, and it's crazy. And, it's like everything that we eat, sleep, and breathe right now is about this virus. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I was just talking to somebody else the other day, just saying how, as serious as it is, like we are kind of just, we wish that there's nothing else to talk about right now. Even you don't hear any other news right now. Everything is literally about this, which is beautiful. They're trying to update us as much as possible, and I appreciate it. Everything going on with these stimulus checks, like people are waiting, there's just a lot of things going on right now that are, surrounding COVID-19, coronavirus, whatever you want to call it, and the Rona. And
how, how did we get here?
How did we get here? Because now I got a nickname, and you know what I mean. But what I do love to see though is people are trying to make the most of it. Laughter is the best medicine. It is scary. People are losing their lives, and we can't be insensitive to that fact. But I understand, people find different ways to cope. And, as sensitive as this topic is, as I see a lot of people really getting hurt by anything, easily offended by a lot of things, which again is understandable, especially if you have a family member who had passed because of this. That's huge. That's a big deal. And until it happens to us, we don't really understand it. But, I do understand that laughter is the best medicine sometimes. So, I feel like we've been doing a good job of like pushing everybody through, pushing each other through, like, just trying to make the most of it, make jokes. If somebody is in that position, I don't think they want to spend their whole time being depressed about it. So, um, it's nice to know that we can, just kind of make somebody smile or, do things like that to pass through. I think it's really shedding a lot of light on how we are as a society right now, things that we need to work on, self-care. We need to be better at self-care. We have to spend time with ourselves. It doesn't matter how hard your hustle is, you're working day in, day out. You need 30 minutes to an hour at least a day or every other day, whatever you can do to really take time to reflect on everything you've been doing, and how you can be better, how you can help other people, whatever the case may be. We were talking about parents that are now stuck in the house with their kids, which is amazing because, and I don't have kids, so, I can't really speak on it too much. But I do have a lot of friends that have kids and are being affected in different ways, when it comes to their work schedules and just the education in general. A lot of these kids are not even getting an education right now, which is super concerning. Um, I have family members that are fortunate enough to live in a community where their school has a program set up already where they are still continuing to learn virtually every single day. They have homework. Nothing really has changed. Actually, my cousins were saying they feel like they're overworked right now. But a lot of these inner city schools, a lot of these other schools don't have these programs implemented. And it's unfortunate because, especially at the elementary level and the middle school level, like these are times that are so vital, you know what I mean, to how they learn and, the things they're picking up and the things they're not. So, Shana, I know you wanted to weigh in on that one, being a mother as well.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for our household, we've been homeschooling for a year now. So this wasn't hard for us at all, to be honest. And I wanted to let other parents know who are not familiar with homeschool. And a lot of parents feel like they can't, like they just don't have it in them to homeschool their child. But it's important that you do know that your child is either going to learn what you teach them or they're going to learn what a stranger teaches them.
Right.
You know that you know what you have actually the knowledge to teach your own child.
Right.
Let's sit here and act like school doesn't even exist. And you birth children and you raise them and then they go off to do whatever. You would be in charge of schooling them. So
Right.
teach them life lessons, teach them how to add and subtract. I mean, basic things. 90% of these kids I've realized don't even have the basics, including my child. Once I took him out of school, I realized he had a lot of holes in his academics, and it was just so crazy to me because we took him out in the beginning of or the end of third grade. I took him out, and he's in fourth grade now, and it was just like, how did you make it this far without knowing what your knowing what a noun is or knowing your vowels? Like how did we like how? like,
Right. Right.
like AEIOU is sometimes why. Like and he just could
Right.
not get it. And he was just like, no, I don't and it was just like at that point I felt like we were in total control and we had to make something of it. And usually that's the type of energy that you want to have when you're going into homeschooling your child. And you did not go to school, we did not go to school to be teachers. Those who are not teachers, you're not professionally trained to know how to supposedly school your child, but it's innate, it's natural to be able to teach your child things that you know. So just do that. Don't stress yourself out because you don't have a whole curriculum to go by if the school didn't give you it. But if the school gave y'all the work, just follow the work and be done with it. One of the biggest things with homeschooling, they basically like this homeschooling group that I follow in Hampton Roads, you have to de-school your child. And I didn't properly de-school my child, meaning you have to kind of get their mind off of the traditional way of learning and teach them how to learn from you and how you operate. So when I took him out of school, I still had you're waking up, you're getting, brush your teeth, wash your face, get showered if need be, go down, eat breakfast, and then you're going to start right on your homework. And we're going to do homework from 12 to 5 and whatever. I had a whole schedule and they were like, no, the homeschooling group literally was like, that's not going to work for him. He's not that type of learner, or you wouldn't take him out of school. If he could learn like that, you would have left him in school, and that was the problem. He's not one of those types of learners. It's not like this block scheduling where it's this, it's this, it's this, it's this. He needs to be able to move around. He needs to be able to stop when he wants to or when he needs to. It was just different things, and the school couldn't provide for him that I could, and that's the whole thing out. So de-schooling. So don't overwhelm yourself, because this might be a better opportunity for you to learn your child and learn the way they need to go to school. And things are going to change when we go back. When everybody starts going back to work and things like that, the whole world is going to change on how and what's essential, what was essential or we thought was essential is no longer going to be essential. Like everybody's going to shift to something else. So virtual learning may be the go-to for good.
You know what I mean? I agree. I don't have kids.
Let's hear. Everything is going online, so get ready for that. And we're already in that wave are going to segue into it perfectly fine. And those who are depending on other people to put them here and there are not.
Right. And it's so important, I have friends that are teachers and, we have deep conversations because sometimes I think that, and this is by no means throwing shots at any, parents, everybody's just doing what they can. But I think sometimes people don't know where the boundaries lie as far as teacher parent relationship and with the student or with your child. And it's unfortunate, a lot of these kids rely very heavily on their teachers, and then to go into an environment where, the parent still has to work, they're 9 to 5, even at home, and they can't really give them the attention that they need to do their work and stuff like that. I can imagine how frustrating that could be for both the parent and the child, because it's already hard. They're at home, so their attention span is not really there because their video games, all their toys, everything is right in the same vicinity. And so I can imagine how hard it is. But I do think, like I was saying, I think, with all the ugliness coming from this and all the struggles that we will have, there's going to be a lot of beautiful things that come from it as well. Just, in this case, again, learning about your child, understanding really where the holes are in their education, and how they learn and everything like that. That's huge. And that is where you can make that decision. Like, you know what, maybe I should pull my kid back and do some homeschooling for a little while to get them on track and then put them back in a public setting, or, whatever. Like, you're going to learn so many things, that we probably take for granted on a regular basis just because we're so stuck in our routines. And, even aside from that, again, the self-care, being able to do fun things with your kids, this is probably an amazing time. I'm sure they love, a lot of these kids love the fact that they could be with mom and dad or whomever, and just having fun. And I'm seeing families, having movie nights and crafts. And I feel like we're really just kind of trying to make the most of us all being in the same room all day, every day. And so, I'm fortunate. It's really just me and my dog, but even still with that, you know what I mean? Like it's just me, you know what I mean? So it gets boring, and you really try to find different things that you can do, reading, aside from just watching. Everybody can sit there and watch Netflix. That's probably a very common thing right now. But again, doing little workouts, walking around, whatever you need to do, like do it.
start your business plan, start your
Right.
trade plan, start your
Right.
your second, third, or fourth stream of income plan. Like now is
Mm-hmm.
the time, and really you can make it dummy proof because now you know if something like this will ever to happen again, that you'd be good if you
Crisis
plan a certain
plan.
way. So this is something that can come up and potentially put people out of business. So you want
Yep.
to build, contingency plan into your business moving forward so that
Exactly.
you not go through any hardships when something like this happens again, because it will happen again. Something like this will happen again. It might be 90 years from now, but it's going to happen again, like, so
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, now is the time to build contingencies into your plan, and then also, I keep seeing people like saying start a business, and then you got people saying, well, how am I supposed to start a business when I can't even pay my own bills with the business that I work for? And it's just like
Right.
you're not thinking of it like in the right way right now. Like you need to start thinking about another stream of income, thinking about a
Yeah.
trade, thinking about somebody you can possibly partner up with to make their business grow. Something you can be a part of so that you're extended enough that you're not just dependent on one solid thing or one solid stream of income that could end any day because again, it's not essential.
Right. And then, even for the small businesses that do, were running smoothly prior to everything happening or just getting started, you know, one huge thing that I feel anybody, myself and Chynel included, is really just thinking about marketing plans after this. You still have that business side of you that really needs to think on that level. And once everybody comes out of this, it's going to be go time. It's going to be grind time. You thought you were grinding before, like it's really going to be grind time, especially for these small businesses trying to come back to a level that they feel comfortable with. And that's where your marketing plan really comes into play, because what are you going to do? How are you going to market your business? Especially if people aren't making the money that they were making. Like, what are the things these are all things that you have to think about, how you're going to bounce back and how you're going to help people in that same respect, and what your
Right.
business, your service, your product is going to do to help them bounce back. Like, these are the things right now you need to be thinking about. As far as hair, I feel like there's a huge positive with that, because we're about to come out of this looking busted. My eyebrows need to be done. My hair, you know what I mean? We got so many things going on. Chynel's out here looking popping because she could do her own hair, but we don't all have that luxury. So, we're knocking on her door. We're doing whatever we got to do. She might have a line coming out her, the plaza, but really, what it comes down to is, again, this stuff with, being laid off, which is a huge thing that's going on right now. And it's very unfortunate. And we're all applying for unemployment. We're applying for jobs. We're trying to get our hands in wherever we can. And so there's just going to be a lot of struggle coming from that. So how are you, what does that look like for you as a business, as an individual? You know what I mean? If you don't even have a business, what does that look like for you as far as your bills and your kids, and the things that you have to do, the plans that you made for the remainder of the year? What does that all look like to you? This is the perfect time. I feel like right now we really have no excuse not to do the things we want to do, including starting a business, because it really comes down to, like she said, the business plan. I've been helping some clients put their business plan together. That can take you days to put together. Let's be clear. You literally, you're going, it's a lot, it's overwhelming, you know what I mean? You have to be able to pivot, and it's a numbers game too. You have to provide numbers, especially if you're getting investors involved. They want to see the number side of things. And you just have to go hard with it, and you have to refine your plan, and you have to have conversations with yourself or with the partner that you're building this business with. You have to have, right now is the time. Right now really is the time. It's a time to gut check yourself, see where you're at mentally, what you can do to be better, what you have to do, what you've been doing, what you did that just didn't work. This is, it's research and go at this point, and just, like, again, writing things down, doing whatever you can. We can do a lot of things online. A lot of resources are provided for free. It's just a matter of looking in the right place. And this is the time to do it. You know what I mean? Like I said, we just really don't. That's what I just try to remind myself of. I don't have any excuse not to do anything. And I really don't feel like, yeah, I've had some downtime, but most of my time has been spent working on things. Even today,
Right.
I set my alarm today to get my day started so we could do this, do our recordings, get whatever, write whatever we need to write. I have plans after this, video. Like, there's so many different things that are coming into play here. And right now is really just it's our time to shine. Believe it or not, it's really our time to shine and make the most of everything right now.
I wanted to say something to that too. Don't be afraid if you are a business owner. Like I'm a small business owner. one person LLC. Um, but I'm not afraid to go and work for somebody else either. Like,
Right.
because that's what you have to do. So don't be afraid to take that step back. It's a humbling process.
Right.
I'm already a humble person, so it's not a problem for me. But other corporations, like of course, there's a million other businesses in the hair industry that they're not going to be hit by this. This is not going to shake them at all because they just make so much money. For instance, a chain like Hair Cuttery, Supercuts, things of that nature, they're going to be set. Also, Sephora, these businesses are booming, and that's because
Mhm.
90% of online e-commerce stream. So they're still making money even right now when they're when we're not, So, and I'm not afraid to go back to that and get myself back to where I need to be so that I can do this again. Um, but for me, I think I'm in a pretty decent space because I'm content with how my business is going, and I'm coming from behind the chair regardless,
Right.
and going on, into the e-commerce market. So it's not really a big deal to me. If anything, this just kind of sped things up for me. But just giving people hope, and I know this is humbling a lot of people, and this is
Mhm.
you have to be able to adapt to every situation because no matter who you are in the world, things are going to come up and things are going to happen. This just so happens to affect every last one of us. This is the first time
Right.
it's affected the world the way it has. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And, just adding to what you said about, the fact that like, luckily this is the moment that you realize, like, you already knew you wanted to transition into e-commerce. And so it, like you said, if anything, it sped it up for you a little bit. Uh, just adding back to that, this is the time, now this has happened. This might be the time for you. There might be a whole different direction for your business. You didn't even know it could go in. And this is right now the time for you to test that and to try that out. And it's okay to take these risks. Honestly, it's kind of like you don't have anything to lose at this point. You're already, especially these small businesses, like this is really the time to test things out. If you have an opportunity to move to online, to e-commerce, do it. You know what I mean? This might be the little sign that you needed. You were looking for a sign. Unfortunately, it might have been packaged up in this. And for me and for my business too, and even for it being so early on, I'm still working on behind the scenes, paperwork, things like that. So this is the time for me. But then even aside from that, even with the clients that I do have, we can text, we can email, we can video chat, we can literally do all of these things. We don't really even have to be in person. I can send documents to them, like there's so many different ways that we can make this work. So again, I just feel like right now it is really hard unless you were affected by this in the way of health, then that's understandable. But other than that, there's little to no excuse that you can possibly give yourself right now. And I really hope that that resonates with you as much as possible, because this is it. This is the time. This is the sign. You needed a sign. This is it. This is your time. You need to get on it, right? Outline your business, whatever you need to do, even if it's writing something down on one piece of paper and just staring at it for a couple of hours and understanding what that means for you. Yeah, this is probably the time for you to do that. You're not really doing anything else. Let's be real. You know what I mean? And the time that you are spending, it's cool. You want to have a chat, you want to drink at 12 o'clock. Hey, we don't know what day it is. We don't know what time it is. You know what I mean? Like I was telling Chynel, like when this all was going down and there was a possibility of a lockdown, like the first thing I thought of was like, oh, I gotta get some wine. Like I gotta make sure I have enough wine
Well,
stocked. I gotta make sure my fridge is
essential
full.
while that's essential, but yeah, I see why it's essential.
Yeah, you just, and because that gives for me, it's just like, that's what I like to do when I'm working, when I'm in my zone. I like to have a glass of wine with me, I'm just in my moment. I'm just having a good time with myself, self-care. And so do whatever you got to do, you know what I mean? And take advantage of this time too to spend time with family, you know what I mean? Having fun, playing board games or video chatting family you haven't spoken to in a long time. We do all really have a lot of extra free time right now. It's unfortunate, you know what I mean? We aren't able to really interact too much, and they are asking us to distance ourselves as much as possible. But there are ways around that, as far as, again, video conferencing or just keeping a general distance in general. And we're definitely finding new ways to survive, and I think that's definitely a positive. I'm seeing a lot of people doing it yourself, DIYers. This is your shining time, shining moment. hand sanitizers, just coming up with recipes, like so many different things. I'm seeing, a lot of people just stepping out of their element and making the most. And it's kind of one of those things like, we are spoiled. And I think you had said that earlier, like we are spoiled. We are very comfortable, and fortunately we have the opportunity to have a lot of luxuries in a sense. But if all of this was stripped away from us, keep in mind, this is how we're handling it. You know what I mean? At this time, more or less. I mean, we have a little bit of benefit there, but this is, that moment. We're being tested, as humans, we're being tested. How can you survive? What are you doing to make the most of this time? I think there's some beauty in it, in a sense that I'm seeing that, water is clearing up, the air is clearing up. Like for me, I wouldn't mind this happening, on an annual basis, where we're locked down a little bit for a couple of days or a week or something. If it means that we're going to have cleaner air, cleaner water, that's important. That's very important. You know what I mean? And trying to look at the positives is such an important thing right now too. Again, all we're hearing about is this virus, everything that's coming along with that. And it's important, but it's stressing us out. You know what I mean? Let's be clear. It's stressful. You want to go back to work. You want to be able to go and make moves how you want to make moves, and you can't. And it's all because of this thing that you keep hearing about all day, every day, whether it's social media, on the news, on the phone, outside, whatever the case. I mean, commercials even, everybody is just doing what they can to spread this message. And you know, try to find the positives as much as you possibly can. We always get through it. Humans, we underestimate ourselves, but we always get through it one way or another. And this is absolutely something we will overcome. Obviously, we're overcoming it right now, small businesses alike. But in that time, try to see the positives. Look at the things that you are doing versus what you're not doing, or and vice, whatever that looks like to you. Like just pay attention to the positive as well.
Right. Well, I mean, for the most part, to kind of brighten up the conversation. Because I am, like you said, I am so sick of hearing about the coronavirus. I mean, we're already locked down. We know why we're locked down.
Right.
We know what's going on. Hopefully, everybody is following the social distance rule and keeping that in. But when it comes to the 8 areas of self-care, now is the time to embody how you're going to work through those 8 areas of self-care. And if you guys have forgotten about the 8 areas of self-care, go to video number 2, vlog number 2. In the first minute of that video, we go through all 8 areas of self-care that we touch on a regular basis in our conversation. And it's kind of like the formula to just being happy, to just being proud of yourself, confident, and experiencing nothing but growth and moving forward within like your life and your business and in general. So I do hope that you guys, can really start to focus on self-care, because that's literally what we have time to do at this point. If you're not focusing on self-care, I don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Our video today was going to be based around like the physical, which is sleeping, walking, running, moving around, and the psychological, which is, mentally just thinking of this in a positive way.
Right.
Let's not, harp on the negative.
Clearing your mind of the clutter.
Yeah, clearing your mind of the clutter. And hopefully you guys are taking these conversations and having them with others, and just really finding who you are and how to move through this. Because again, the world is going to change after we come out of this. Everybody's going to move a little bit different. May have been really dependent on others for certain things, may not even be that way now. They had no choice but to depend on themselves in this circumstance. So focus on you and making sure you're okay and your family is okay. And then, look out for your friends who are going through it. Check in on your single parents, check in on couples that are not are toxic for each other.
Head to head, like
yeah,
they're not okay. They're not
they're
okay.
not they're not okay.
Yeah, absolutely. and continue these conversations. You know what I mean? You don't have to be in front of the person's face to have these conversations. I really hope that, like we say every time, we're having a great time doing this. I absolutely, love being able to talk about, you know, just the things we've been talking about. It's important. You don't get to have these conversations a lot. And, the reality of the situation is a lot of people are just spending this time doing the same thing they do when they don't have the time. So we're fortunate enough to have, a squad, a group that really takes this time to like do things and not just sit there and waste time. You know what I mean? Even if it's just 30 minutes, an hour out of your day, just try to be as productive as possible. But even aside from that, if you don't know where to start, you know what I mean? Feel free to reach out. We have time. There's no reason we can't respond to you, Yeah, whether it's a text, comment, direct message, you can write us on our email, movingforwardvlog@gmail.com. Just reach out again. I really enjoy all of the feedback that we get after each vlog. I have people writing as we speak, just can't wait for the next blog or the next blog. Like everybody just, we have a lot of people looking forward to it. And so it's good to know, we're one of millions, billions, trillions of voices out there trying to make a difference. And it's nice to know that we're being heard even a little bit. Every little bit counts. And, luckily we have the platforms and, the ability to do this type of thing. And I just, I'm seeing people creating live concerts. Shout out to Age Vidal. I see him doing his thing. He's putting up music sessions. I haven't even been able to watch it, just keeping myself busy, but I keep seeing him doing it. I'm seeing a lot of people sharing and watching it. And I think that is a beautiful thing. And he had mentioned like it reignited his passion for that. Like he didn't even realize how much he missed that, just getting so lost in the day-to-day functions. And so that was super dope to me. And I'm seeing a lot of that same energy from other people, like, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing this. And I just think, good. You know what I mean? You have to do this. This is the time to find your passion, to explore it, to be real with yourself, to give in to the things that you wouldn't normally give into. No excuses, no excuses. We move forward every single day. So,
well, at the end of it all, I mean, I think that we had two really good conversations today. They're live. Know what happens in live, but this is essentially the
right,
same conversation we had on live.
right,
So we do look forward to having um, our special guests on, other business owners and just people in general who have a good conscience on influencing people to do the right thing in the world. So we are looking forward to the next few vlogs, and I hope that if you're interested in coming on and chatting with us, that you're not too shy, that you don't reach out, because I'm finding
right,
that people want to, but they don't know how it's going to go. They don't know what they're really supposed to do, and it's really just a conversation. We're not doing anything special. We're all just sitting in our house. I'm in my bathroom actually right now, towards my closet. Nothing special, just having a conversation, and it's open to everybody,
yeah,
and um, we record these. So at the end of the day, I have to edit it. If it's something that you're not comfortable with, or you didn't like the way it looked or whatever, I can edit that out. You know what I mean?
right,
But for the most part, we try to just talk straight through, keep it raw, keep it professional. Um, and there's going to be natural bloopers. I mean, we don't, if we
right.
mess up on saying something, we're just going to keep going. I'm not going to edit that out. Um, so it's nothing to be afraid of. You're on Instagram and Facebook all the time.
Right.
Nothing different. Uh, but
Snapchat. Look.
yeah, we would like to um, have more people as a part of this conversation live, and just being able to bounce off of each other. Me and Renee, we always have good conversation, but throwing another person in there is really going to take it to the next level. So
Yes.
are watching, definitely look forward to the next vlog because we will have someone on and it'll be a surprise. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited. Like I said, the point of these vlogs is really just to create a community. You know what I mean? I know I'm not wrong in saying that we are not the only ones that feel and think the way that we do. Or even if you don't think anything like we think, just having conversations, healthy debates, healthy, you know what I mean? Like just talking
right.
through it, get voice, your opinion out. Like it makes such a difference in your day to day. You feel like you're being heard. I look forward to this. You know what I mean? This is something I look forward to every week. I feel like I'm really motivating myself and motivating, the people that are listening. And I really hope that you guys feel like that too. And there's no reason for you to not feel comfortable to, to reach out to me and Chynel. I feel like anybody who knows us, you know that you can reach out to us, but I get it. Some of you don't know us, but I hope at this point you understand, like, hey, I'm all for it. I want to know what you have to say. I want to know what your opinion is, and I want you to share it. And I want you to, let's change perspectives. Let's, challenge each other. Whatever we got to do. I just think, now is the time again to do it. We have so much free time, so we would love people to come on, even if it's 2 additional people at a time. Whatever we have to do. I think it's going to be great. And yeah, reach out. Like I said, I had a couple people that were like, "Oh, I'm interested." All right, well, come on. Now's your time. It's not like we're gonna run out of stuff to talk about. You know what I mean? Even if it's repetitive, it's still very relevant, and there's so many different ways you can have that conversation. And so we're here. Definitely reach out. But like she said, we will have a guest coming up, and I'm excited. Just we're just trying to make things happen for you. So be on the lookout.
Yes. Yes. So again, thank you for tuning in to And Moving Forward vlog series with myself, Chynel, at Chapter 28 Beauty, LLC, and
Ronai with Anomaly the Agency. Thank you guys so much. And until then, moving
all right.
forward.
Thank you.